Hi there, good morning everybody. It is Laurel here and I am up in the Sulky House studio once again. I've been able to spend a lot of time up here and normally I should be working today, but because of our snowstorm that's currently going on, I'm here and our work is closed. So my project today was to take this piece that I found at Goodwill a couple of weeks ago, and I think I got it for like 99 cents, and it's wooden and it has a bit of a wooden frame around it. It's all intact. It needs a little bit of love, but I thought this is a great substrate to repurpose and create a landscape oil painting on this piece of wood. So that is what I am going to do today, and I'm ready to get started. Now what I'd like to do before I start any painting, and in this case I'm using oil paint for this project, is to cover the substrate, the canvas, the piece of wood, whatever I'm using, with a shade of red and blending white as well into it just to lighten up the red. But this creates a nice color ground for the paint that I'm going to lay on top, because one of the things that a warm color such as red, depending on the hue of red, is that it is going to make the colors that I end up putting on top as part of the actual landscape, those colors, it's going to make them really pop. So I just finished painting a light coat of red mixed with white. What kind of red? I didn't get too technical on that. Let's see, what kind of red did we get? We had titanium white and cadmium red. And so this is going to be the ground for the beginning or the underpainting for the painting. And then I have, and it's been thinned out with a little bit of linseed oil, which I keep in this little cup here. And then when I'm not using my painted brush here, I just stick it in some turpentine until I'm ready to use it again for this project. Now, I very rarely will I ever do a plein air, which means painting out in the actual environment. Painting, I usually draw from different kinds of references. And so this is a picture that I took on my iPad here. Well, I didn't take it from my iPad, I took it from my phone, but this is a picture. And yes, it was that gorgeous. The colors were that magnificent, of a place up in Alstead, New Hampshire. And they make maple products, and it's a big organization. It's not a big factory, but they have a lot of land. And this was the view from their parking lot, actually. And I just thought, this is such a gorgeous picture. So I'm going to be using this painting, or this picture, sorry, as a reference for this little landscape here. So one of the things that I like to do before I start any painting is to just take, this is a very tiny, tiny Conte crayon here, or a piece of charcoal, and just sort of sketch out roughly what the landscape is going to generally be like, so that I can get an idea of just where things are going to go. So again, it's such a very loose kind of way to go about this. Sorry, the lighting is not the best. This is me and YouTube and not being super professional with all the bells and whistles, and I gotta stop apologizing for doing that, because I'm really just kind of doing this for fun and whatever. Now I've got the pond here, and now I've just decided, I'm stuck. Wait a sec, do I want to have more, you know, ground or more sky? And I remember what I was thinking when I started this was, I actually feel like I wanted more sky and less pond. But You know, one of the beautiful things about paint or oil paint in general is that you can kind of keep going over things and going over things again and again to get what you want. I mean, drying time, yeah, it's going to take a while, but that's okay. All good things take time. So that's just a general sketch of just proportionally where things are going to go on this particular painting. And now we're going to start laying some paint. Okay, so I have the general underpainting of this landscape, and of course it looks nothing like that. And I'm only using my photograph as a reference anyway, just to create a different kind of landscape. And one of the things about working in oils is that it takes years and years to master, and I am fairly new to oils, and I know that it takes a lot of time and patience, especially learning how to use oils properly. I don't think there's any real hard and fast rules. I mean, many painters use oils in many different ways, but it does teach you patience. And because of the drying time in between coats, it definitely teaches you patience. So I do keep layering over, but you have to be careful about not getting a muddy looking painting. Now, right now, I consider this the underpainting in the mid value range. So once I go at this again, we're going to start putting in some higher tones or higher values and deeper tones. The deeper tones I'm going to put on first, and the fun part, the sparkle, is really the highlights afterwards, the lightest tones that you are going to bring out to create the image that you want. So here is where I'm kind of at with this, and I'm just, you know what, there is no right or wrong way as far as I'm concerned, and there may be people out there that beg to differ, and I know that there is definitely a school of thought and technique and all of these things, but a lot of you know, you may consider yourself, I'm not an oil painter, or I only work in this medium. And, you know, for a long time, I was really, really intimidated by oils. And I am just kind of going at, there are no hard and fast rules. There's definitely some principles, and it's definitely worth your salt to study other painters and things. But most of all, like anything in life, I don't want to be intimidated so much that I won't try it. So maybe I shouldn't be getting into all the details with the clouds, but right now at this stage, but it's kind of just what I feel like doing. And the beauty of oils is that, yeah, it takes a long time for oils to dry, and maybe the colors are not quite right yet, and they aren't. There's a lot of red that's showing, like I said, from my ground underneath. That's okay. I'm going to go back in. But right now, I'm just kind of developing a relationship, really, with this painting. And if it starts to get too purpley up there in those clouds, you know, I just wipe off my brush and go back in. And again, I am loosely basing this off of a photograph that I took this past summer. And we'll see where it ends up. But right now, I'm just having fun with this. And so now I'm going to take a little bit of a break, let it dry just a bit, and go make some breakfast. Okay, breakfast is over, and I'm back at painting again, and we're sort of in the middle of the story, I would say. So I'm still working on these greens, trying to get the shades and the values that I need. And right now it's just getting the values, getting my darks and lights correct. And I'm going to just keep moving on with this. Okay, so I'm kind of liking just the looseness of this painting. I don't want to get really picky about trying to define every single tree in the background here. And as you can see, Here's my inspiration picture. This has a lot more vivid green and blues, and this is just a little more subtle. And I'm just kind of coming in. It looks like there's goldenrod in the inspiration picture, and so I'm just kind of going in and just lightly dabbing here and there to give the impression of flowers in the foreground, but I don't want to do too much. So I've got a little over on the side and a little here. And I think with just a little bit more work in the water area here, I think I would say I am almost finished with this piece. Okay, I think I'm done with this piece. This is what you can do when you just find things in thrift stores. Like I said, I went to Goodwill and I found this old kind of like home goods or what would you say, Hobby Lobby kind of sign, and just painted over the wording that was on it and turned it into this oil painted landscape. So this is going to take a while to dry, and then I will deal with working on the frame and just getting some of this extra paint off and then repainting the frame. So I'm quite happy with how this turned out. It was a lot of fun to do, and I just want to thank you all for following me on this little painting journey. And please feel free to comment or subscribe or both, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Take care.